G'day, today we're going to have a look at version 3 of Mage and Monsters. So in this mode, we have a new mode of the cave, third area to fight in, which we're going to have a look at. Now I'm going to go on this brutal because there is an achievement that, what we're also going to look at today, where you have to try and beat any of the levels, or each of the levels is an achievement for each one, on brutal difficulty or harder, while only spending 800 or less shards in this tree. So this is my tree approach here. I actually do love pyromancers for this mode, the cave. But for this particular case, I'm going to go more dwarves and archers to start. I'm going to get that bonus gold of just being able to go up to 700 and make more bonus gold. I want my guys to turn into skeletons to give me that extra little chance. And I want necromancers. So in total, those are going to equal about 790, 800. That's what we're going to go with. Now, I love playing this game with Gus because I love this just being a straight auto battler. But when it comes to this mode, I think I need one of the guys. Either it's going to be Ephoro with his extra range, or Ishkar with his sort of like lockdown freeze. I actually am going to go Ephoro in this one. I really like him. And I think that extra range that my guys can sort of stand 40% further back does really help. We're just going to try and poison as much as we can. What we really want to see is the 3 spells that I want quick here. We're lucky. So we want to basically have the 2 summons and then the Bless. My always go-to spells. So we're just going to be killer if we're not seeing those. Witches we can deal with. Especially tricky because I don't have the upgrades for being able to re-roll. Thank you. Okay. 40 Elven Warriors. There are sometimes in this level where they will give you an incredible amount of guys against you, and even if they are really, like, standardly weak characters, they can actually make an absolute mess of you, so 40 Elven Warriors isn't too bad, but I've seen some levels where you get like 110 cultists pretty early on. And on paper it doesn't sound that bad, but they can really mess you up. Bless is the next one we want. So what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to go to level 2 spells unlocked. Really need to hang out for that. This is one where we've got lots of guys, but these guys are incredibly weak. Alright, let's just make sure one of those guys is hard to kill. Basically what we're going to see is these guys at the bottom all converge up, because then they should make a nice shape of that poison cloud. We can just wipe them out. That's one thing that I'll do is I'll chuck long-range dudes on the other side of the map, because even if these guys work through and kill all this, they then have to walk back across the map to actually win. So it's just sort of spreading out the map and putting guys wherever you can fit them, especially when I've got the extra 40%. I'm going to go the Toxic Blast over the summon range, because the Alchemist suddenly becomes such a short range. It's a little bit of a disadvantage, especially while I don't have my melee guys. I do really need those melee summons soon, but I guess what we're just working on at the moment is making a little bit of money. Slow and steady while we wait for our poison clouds to rescue us here, and then again we'll put these archers on the other side of the map. That should be enough. Right. Go the summon ranged, just because it's an upgrade we have to do at some point, so we may as well get it done now if we've got no better options. I'm going to go level 3 spells unlocked, just because then it gives us the option of the 3rd level of range, which is going to be pretty handy, I guess, at this point. Again, let's get one of these guys hard to kill. They're going to bunch at the bottom there, so let's hit those guys. Good thing about the Alchemist, though, is that they do a little bit of splash damage, so there is some value in having a lot of them at this on this sort of map, like having 30, 40 guys just sort of trying to wipe out that early wave, large groups. Alright, we'll go the footmen just purely for the amount of money they're going to give us. I don't want to have to start burning through choose unit or spells, but we are getting in a bad spot here at the moment. Again, I think this wave could be okay. I'm going to put those guys right there, because I actually want these guys to converge, so I can knock out all those witches at once. It's sort of a sacrifice of alchemists, just to get rid of witches. And let that one undead dude just stand firm and try and create a big no-touching zone between the enemies and my guys. The skin of my teeth I'm having to live by on each of these just for not getting that melee. Alright. Gonna have to jump in and get something more, so we'll take those guys. Let's max out our units again. What did we have coming? That's manageable. Okay. So again, we're gonna just drop these guys up here just to force these witches to stack into that section there. The witches down here are facing the dude with damage reduction, so that's gonna help them get cleaned up. Make that guy hard to kill. Put that on there, and that should be it. Okay. That's gonna give us a bit more of a range, so that's gonna help us a lot. Centaurs are quite quick, but I think 34 of them we should be able to manage. I'm gonna jump us to tier... do I want to jump to tier 2? No, I've got units or spells. Just an attempt to see if we can get lucky and get that. That's alright. Everything else is a little bit better. That's what we're going to have to ride here. See the trickier thing that we've got here, that they've hit us across the line. They haven't sort of come to a certain point because I didn't force them to converge. Let's put those guys behind just to distract these guys. Alright, the cultists because we get more money for them. Similar wave to last time. There's a lot of skeletons, but that should be okay. Units or spells. Begging you, give me the... I don't like Elven Warriors enough to take them over Footmen. One more chance. Nothing. And you're going to force me to take Elven Warriors. I can't see this being an overly successful long-term run here. It is alright, though, having a nice light range front, though. I think that having that sort of first wave to allow your necromancers to set up behind it isn't too bad. But there's going to be a point here where we're just going to crash and burn because we haven't gotten those melee guys yet. $110 archers. We'll give it a burl. Upgrade them. Just hold on for now. Let's do the trick of dropping these guys to the top range. I know they're all long range enough, they're going to keep fighting anyway, so let's just take out a chunk of them. Because I've got enough footmen, these guys might get close enough to start, like, wreaking some havoc. Get rid of the thickest part of them in the middle there. So we can just speed things up. Alright, 15 Nightfish isn't too bad. It means we can focus fire on them. Yep, we'll just stick with that. Yeah, again, I could probably use those guys to position them up and get them all grouped together. What we're going to try and do is, I guess, knock off the guys on the top of this line. That'll be enough. So those 3 guys still going to. $168 priest rats. Heals now life 30 every 2. So they've only got 40 health. So I do think they're going to try and heal's basically already going to be dead. So I think that we can fight against that. Unlock level 4 spells. I realize I haven't done that yet. That's going to help them push through. And let's go for at least one of them. Get Bless, which does do, they do a lot more damage. So if I get, say, like my Necromancer blessed, they can actually do real well. So we are going to drop these guys just to force all these ones to sort of like converge up. Now that early, like unless the poison ticks over and kills them, they're just going to heal each other. So got to make sure that we do use this worthwhile. That really emptied that gap. There we go. Summon melee. I don't want to fight against necromancers. So 12 of them. No, I'm not strong enough. Alright, we'll go berserkers and cherubs. I don't like cherubs much either because they're just going to be regenerating health. There's not enough of them to really cause us a problem. That was an optimistic cast to see if I could get my melees up a little bit. I didn't. It's okay. We'll stick above 500. We'll put those guys back. Drop some of these guys in, and we'll see if we can knock out at least some of these cherubs. Is there anyone alive in the front line? There's gotta be someone there, but... Alright, got it done. Summon the range first, because I think those Cyclops are going to be way more handy. Go one upgrade of that. Of course, you still don't want to give me those melees. Not even anything else you can give me. Okay. So, get those guys in straight away. Now, they are basically my my key to victories. My Cyclops staying alive, so we don't want to be using them like I was using the other guys and dropping them in the front line. But because I still only have level 1 melee, those guys are going to take a while to summon, so I can't just do the instant drop them in the front line, pull everyone to the top with them yet. Let's take the gold. 5 knights. Like I said, knights can be pretty tricky. This pyromancers are actually a nightmare because they can shoot through, so they can kill out you guys at the back. So we don't want to mess with that. Like that. Okay. Let's jump tiers. We'll stick with tier 4 for now because I don't have pyromancers in that row. I would otherwise jump to that, but we'll wait. We'll stick with 600 gold, and we'll go for the level after that. So let's jump in here. Let's get those guys back there. Let's try and hurt some necromancers. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of those necromancers as quick as we can. They're the thing we don't want to mess with. You can see there as well, sort of dropping the guys back allows them to pull focus away from your lines, which is also real handy. So, guess we've got no choice. 800 allows me to get all the way to tier 5. So we'll give ourselves a Frost Giant. We've lost all of our goodwill of having bonus gold, but I think getting just up here and starting to see these guys move through is going to be handy. I'd also love to see a bit higher on my summon melee, please. Please. Really, that Frost Giant is who should be getting my my bless. I might have been too late for him. We are going to struggle here, I'd say. Okay, so firstly, we've got to start playing this like we are going to lose. So we've got to have these guys over here. Let's try and hit as many of those guys with the poison as we can. Let's sort of get those guys up there too. And the annoying thing is the cherubs can actually fight this out. So we're going to bonus on that Cyclops because he can then do some real big damage to keep us alive. Thank you. Okay, Melee's starting to move up. Monarchs should be okay. I think that's alright. It means we can focus fire even though we don't have a ton of guys. I guess what we're otherwise doing is just making some money. Yeah, we'll just stick with the level 2 melee. Again, though, what we want to do is try and pull everyone up to the same spot. Oh, they died quick. So we can hit them. Again, we want to try and get... There we go. Frost Giants at least survived long enough to take on a second wave of them. You can see the longer he can just stay in that line, the more we can just have everyone completely removed from our archers. Make that a lot easier. And bring in a Necromancer. Okay, low numbers. I mean, those guys aren't too strong. Should be able to cope with that. We do really want to get this upgrade, though, to start getting more than one guy. And again, we obviously want that melee upgrade, but... And we'll do the same thing we just did, where we'll drop guys here. We'll, oh, they died. Oh, thank goodness for the skeletons. And then we'll, hit them. Frost Giant, you take as long as you need, buddy, to get over there, because we want you to live. Wow, he died quick. Get that going on one of those guys to get him doing much bigger damage. Try and keep that Necromancer alive as well. Put those guys at the back. Didn't miss everyone with my summon. Alright, we'll take the gold. One of the reasons to take the gold at this point is that the gold is worth more than the summon. So if I was to pick, say, a Cyclops, then I would be getting the Cyclops plus 30, whereas what I'm doing is I'm getting 90 and spending 80, so I'm making 10, and then potentially get a Cyclops plus 30, so that's the logic there. These guys are all pretty light. The Paladins healing themselves, I don't think is going to be too big a threat. I think I can just save... Oh no, I can now go to 1 to 2, so that's a big get. And we'll go from there. Firstly, we'll get those guys straight in. We will put these guys at the top to try and drag as many guys up as possible, and then hit them. Alright, we've got our Frost Giant in. See if he can survive long enough to get the thing. Yep. Should be enough, I'd say. I suppose if you want to give some melee, though the Dwarven Constructs for 26 would be quite nice too. 305 Centaurs. And they do cleave damage. They only have 43 health. What wave is this? Now, one thing is, even if you select OK there, you can go back and change your mind and reroll again. 305 is a lot. I think I'm gonna bet on my team. And we'll go guys at the top. We'll try and drag them and hit them. And you can see that I can knock out huge swings of them. Like everyone within a range of the poison will die. Just make sure we've got that guy still there and fighting. Put some paladins down here to try and keep them away. Now I'm just going to group those guys together because it's the safest point. So this is really about having a no-touching zone. So we've just lost that no-touching zone down the bottom here. Alright, so those guys will now drop to the other side. Alright, we'll go the Necromancers. I mean, that's such a small amount of guys, we can really focus fire them down. I'm not going to get that one guy, because I'd rather get 10 gold for the next wave. You can see how many of the guys I can now hit with poison if there's so few. Doesn't have to be pretty. Alright, let's get some actual Cyclops in there. I think that's way too many apprentices. They could make quick work of this. So let's get rid of them. 31 were-rats. Yeah. I don't like having the priests in there, but that's what we're going to go with. I do want to bring some more people in, though. So let's go some more summon melee. And necromancers. I think that we want it, like... Sometimes in this you have to sort of, I think, spend to have a chance of making the next one. So let's get more... Let's bring in some constructs. Let's try and create a wall that these guys can't get past. So firstly, we're going to just try and drop in there and kill some priests. Because those priests are going to make these rats real hard to kill if we let them live. But having a construct that doing like the extra damage too from the bless, he can really cast some shapes. So let's drop some Cyclops down here to just focus on the backsides of these guys. Then it's just going to become a race of raw damage, taking out these rats. Gold. Yeah, the golems aren't too bad. That's alright. Look at. Alright, so we can buy one and it won't cost us dropping under. So we'll go the Cyclops, so we're still 20 above. So we can bring in all those footmen as well. Because yeah, those footmen do create a little bit of a wall that do make life a little bit easier. So again, here what we're doing is trying to pull everyone up at the same spot. Try and get some nice hits of poison. I didn't realize my guys get poisoned too when I drop them in poison clouds. Greater good, I think, is our goal there. Gold. 77 Cyclops. Now, without anything else, even though I love Cyclops and I think they're great to do like major damage, if they don't have anyone standing in front of them, they can get torched. And that's what we're going to play into right here. So I'm going to go extra upgrade options to give us more chance of getting our necromancers. Something that gives us more than 14. I don't want an archangel. Alright, so necromancers it is, and we just drop under 700. Okay, so we'll get these guys straight in there. We'll get them to sort of pull focus. You can see our clouds are good enough to get them killed en masse. Even our constructs do enough damage to knock them out en masse too. I feel like this is a thing where you get to see... This is what it looks like if you had nothing in front of your Cyclops and you go, oh, okay, so Cyclops aren't necessarily that great if they're too exposed. Gladly we'll go against Cyclops again. Okay, let's up our damage for our range guys. Twice. And let's bring in more Necromancers. And I guess that'll be it, because otherwise we'll drop below 700. We'll go for the extra 10. Drop those guys in there. Cast to kill. Something like Necromancers are going to be a great pest for these guys, because they're going to keep targeting just the little zombies walking in front. Alright, no stress with those guys. Okay, we'll go against that. It's a pretty hardy size, but we're starting to build up in our size as well, which is what we will do here. We'll just go for more troops. I am going a little bit for money, so if I get more money for picking up a Cyclops over a Necromancer, I'll go that, but ideally what we want to do is sort of build a Necromancer heavy lineup. Okay, so again, we'll drop guys at the top, try and pull all these up, and I always hate that. Some random little dude. No point in doing a dude that small, but he's in the front line, he'll live. Alright, go the gold. Ogres, Brutes, Archangels. Archangels I don't love, but I've only got the one reroll left, so we'll have to go against him. Again, we'll go for trying to stack ourselves with Necromancers or Constructs. I think about 20 Constructs is the maximum I'd want here. And then just like 40 Necromancers and then almost just Cyclops after that. Just taking the Cyclops on that one. Okay. And let's drop these guys up. Let's try and hit them with a cloud. Which really isn't doing that much damage for how fast they heal themselves. What we really need is a Construct breathing fire. Doing AoE damage on these guys. There you go, you can see him cutting through them. That was not what I thought I was placing there. Those guys were what I was placing there. A lot of sharks down the bottom. The Cyclops. Whoa. Now again, we're gonna have to bet on ourselves that like we can get to them. And really what we want on this is going to be Necromancers. We need Necromancers getting in there to just have zombies in the way. And all of these guys, every single one of those footmen is going to count here. We're going to drop those guys straight in. Try and hit them with what we got. These guys can just absolutely murder our front rows here. We need our Cyclops getting in there and cutting them down as fast as possible. And we need one construct. Ah, the construct with that, not you. You can see, yeah, it's now going to be the zombies. The longer the zombies can stay alive and just sort of get through and pester these guys, and as long as that, like, because all of them are going to focus on the same one guy. It doesn't matter if they're going to do 10,000 damage to a guy that's got 50 health. If he's the closest guy, that's who they're all attacking. And that's what we've got to ride, that why our Necromancer is going to be so valuable here. I also think it's a long-term value of 34 Dwarven Constructs. I think that's actually a very structured one in the way that I would fight. I don't like it. I'm going to have to bet against that one and then see how we go for the rest of the way. You can actually see as well that even though I had the trouble of getting 33 archers at the start, you can see that those guys make a very defined line in front of the Cyclops. So they actually keep the Cyclops safe as well, which is part of their appeal. Okay, so now what we've got is a whole lot of money to spend. So we can go all the way to 0 now. And I'm not going to worry about upgrading damage too much. What are we doing? 68 and 45. So we're not doing that much damage. Maybe we'll give it 1. But more what we want is just numbers. Necromancer's getting guys in the way. We also don't want the Necromancers getting in each other's way too. But it is a risk I am willing to take. Especially with the amount of money that you can get here, it just sort of means that you can get even more guys. So what we need is we need at least 20 more. We need 1 more of that. So we need at least someone offering us 5. So we can't take him in this particular case. We need that 5 so that we can get that guy fully up. Alright, we hit our perfect 40, 18, 24. So let's see how we go. Let's get those guys straight in there. Let's try and blast them. Although it is the constructs that I think really can demolish these guys. I mean, everyone ranged is also doing brilliant work to them. Alright, so let's get that guy casting in there, just wiping him out. Let's try and just weaken this bottom corner, because you can see they're very exposed. The constructs are all at the top. I'd say we're alright there. Nine forest dragons. If they're getting in the way of those Cyclops, they are going to cause us some grief. So what we need to do, try and get rid of those Cyclops. Damn it. It irks me, those little guys that sneak in and get the constructs casts. So what I am doing is I am just focusing on Cyclops. I need them out of the way. They're the ones that are going to just chip at my guys and kill them. Allowing these dragons to get away with murder. Dragons, you can see, once they get far enough forward, like we'll make quick work of them. Those 3 guys should hopefully be able to make it the full length now and take care of that. Yeah, there we go. Very melee heavy, and the fact that there's no ranged in there is going to make this bearable. So again, we'll drop guys at the top to try and pull them all together, and then poison. quite a tame round, that one. $143 of them is going to be murder. That is going to be murder. So we are going to have to get behind the lines real quick here. Alright. So let's hold off until we see those guys. Basically, we want all these guys just coming forward and getting out of the way. Here they come. Essentially what we were doing there was just distracting them for a brief moment. Because we need to, I think in this one what we have to do is get rid of all the melee guys as fast as we can. Just sort of like being a nuisance to the guys at the back here. And then hoping that our Necromancer's casting is going to distract these guys long enough that we can really chip away. But you can see, like, the poisons have done an alright job at making large chunks of these guys pretty weak. And a move like that is just to distract a whole bunch. That, like, I don't expect him to kill too many, but what they're all going to do is turn around and look at him and shoot at him until they get rid of him. 109 Minotaurs, that's okay. Again, this is just a melee group, so they're just going to get in each other's way, so we can deal with that. Let's put those guys at the top. Actually, what I should have done is a similar strategy to what I do in other ones, and tried to pull everyone else back and let the dragons get by. This is one I think that we can do relatively quickly. I think that we're going to keep them at bay. There we go. That's it. I find this an incredibly fun way to approach the game because there is, like, it's going to look different every single time. I still have 400% to get done on this one, so I've got that to look forward to. But yeah, any questions or comments, feel free to check them below. And until next time, catch you later. See ya.